Alright, welcome everybody to the PCDC Motorsports ACC League. The directing commentary today will be done by myself, Senna Stoffmail. And we're today here at Kyalami in Midrand in South Africa. Track features 16 turns, about 4.529 kilometers long and 2.814 miles long. Very interesting track with a lot of elevation change and a beautiful city landscape as we're going down the hill. Regardless of that, let's take a look at the race format. The race format for today is going to be a 110-minute practice, which is coming to an end. Drivers will be getting the driver's briefing at the moment. And then we will head into 15 minutes of qualifying. Then we will have a 90-minute race, so a endurance race today, with one mandatory pit stop, where fuel and tires are optional. So you might see some fuel saving strategies or tire saving strategies today, because realistically, I think our drivers won't be taking any tires. But you know, we've seen different strategies in the past. I think when we were at Suzuka, we have seen people that haven't changed their tires and actually made it work. Which I believe were the AOSP guys, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, with that being said, let's take a quick look at our calendar. So today we're here at Kyalami, and this is of course an endurance round. Then we will again have about a 2-week break, because we do have, of course, our GT4 series running bi-weekly with this one. And then we will be heading to Bathurst, so another iconic track. And we will end it off with a 90-minute endurance at Brands Hatch. So, you know, still some nice and exciting tracks in the coming weeks. So let's take a look at the championship standings as they are now. So at the front we have the Nacy, so a bit of change in the landscape here, as you know, we're used to seeing either Marcus Lawrence or Vincent Erbrich at the top there, but the Nacy, one of the AOSP guys, now fully at the top there with 204 points, but we can see there Ruben van den Hudding right behind him with 200 points. Then we have Marcus Lawrence in third with 182, matched by Christian Duploy with also 182 points. In fifth we have Hawa, which is the teammate of the Nacy. Then we have Ryan Daniels in sixth, Alvarado in seventh, Dijkstra in eighth, Hila in ninth, or Hyla, sorry, Hughes in 10th. Then we have Wansink in 11th, and in 12th we have Nergesh. In 13th, we have Joshua Layson. So I believe Josh was a winner in the GT4 race last week. So did really well then. And unfortunately struggling a little bit more in the GT3s here. I don't think he attended all the races either. But yeah, then in 14th, we have Thomas. Erbrich in 15th. Thornton in 16th. Van Laar in 17th. Smelth in 18th, Smith in 19th, Rowley in 20th, 21st is de Boer, then Arnsman, then Mats Linum Andersen, and then Huck in 24th, and it just keeps going. Parnell in 25th, then Hill in 26th, Katsumi in 27th, Edman in 28th, Ikonen in 29th, Pettit in 30th, Vozarik in 31st, Hurst in 32nd, Fonseca in 33rd. 34th we have Harvey, then Tonen in 35th, then Stempel in 36th, and a couple more drivers here. Venter 37th, Zanvarescu 38th, the Knecht in 39th, Person in 40th, Hadabas in 41st, 42nd we have Nijhoff, then we have Owen in 43rd. 44th, we have Phillips, Wall, and Rodriguez Ferro, who haven't scored any points yet. Sorry, that was a lot of names to get through. And with that being said, should be able to move straight into qualifying here, as you can probably hear it in the background. So here we go. So a lot of drivers here lining up. We have 36 drivers today at Kyalami, so a massive grid. And that's gonna definitely make it very interesting to watch here today, I'm sure. As we're looking at Milan Haq here coming out of the pit. Let's actually see if someone is running on a lap yet. Here we go. Thomas Arnsman is coming into turn 1 here. Just started the lap, so we'll follow him around. Nice blue and orange here on his Mercedes. And Arnsman probably, I assume, is gonna put up a pretty good showing here. I know he was part of one of the RCI races we did, which was the 24 hours of Kyalami, so he should have some good muscle memory built in, even though he's driving a different car now. But getting it around the track pretty cleanly so far. Easily, I do think maybe the lap after this one might be a bit faster, because the tires might not be fully up to pressure yet. But they probably will be as he comes down into the last sector here. Have that little bit of an awkward right-hander here that then goes onto, well, not much else to say than the death curb corners there. You hit that one on the inside there, then race over. But Arnsman runs to the line here. I'm not sure if he actually validated the lap. Get the timings up here. He is gonna put in a first initial lap here, 41.7. But I assume that those laps are gonna drop down quite dramatically still. So I imagine we will see, we will get into the 40s. I'm entirely sure of that, but not quite sure if we'll get into the 39s. We'll have to see. But I think low 40s is definitely likely. More people getting their times in here. Funland hitting so far provisional pole with Lawrence right behind him with a 41.5. Arnsman currently in 3rd, Hyla in 4th, Dijkstra in 5th, Hughes in 6th, Thomas in 7th, Tonen in 8th. A lot of people getting their times in. We see as well. First M there, Erdmann also putting a time in there. Look here. As Hyla is coming around in the Honda. I think the only Honda on the grid. Which will be interesting to see here, because I think the Honda is not that great on tires. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here in this endurance format. Getting some drivers, but he does put himself up into a provisional pole here, so very nicely done. Got a little bit of draft there, I think, from the car in front, but gets into the 40s there, so 40.6, which is a very, very nice lap around here. Another look here at Sebastian Erdmann as he's coming through that last corner, and he's actually significantly faster this time around. 1.6 seconds up. Let's see whether that puts him. Puts himself in 12th. Very nicely done. Any other big improvements going on at the moment? Take a look here at Joshua Layson. Making his way around the track. Currently about 3/10 up, Joshua. looking pretty decent, but actually might run into some traffic in front of him, so gonna be less than ideal because he is on a really good lap here. So let's hope he doesn't get hindered here, but there's a big chance, and of course it is the as a Lambo goes off there. I'm not quite sure who that is, but everyone makes way there. Comes around that, I'm not quite sure, not quite a hairpin, but a very slow corner, and then downhill towards the city. Big braking zone, but he's picking this up nicely. A little bit of time there through that corner, but loses a bit on the exit. Don't hit that curb. Very on the edge there. He nails the last corner here. It's gonna be a 2/10 improvement. Might jump Van den Hudding here. Let's see. Yes, he does. So moves up into third. Very nicely done, but I'm pretty sure he can squeeze out a better lap. Another driver here, Jaakko Ikonen. And his very nice graphic livery. Bit of a oversteer moment there as he heads into the last sequence of corners. Ooh, but runs wide there. Could have actually improved his lap time by over a second there, so that's a shame for Jaakko, because I don't think this will count. We'll see as he comes across the line if there's any improvement. Nope, there won't be, unfortunately. One of our newer drivers here, Simon Tonen, as the cameraman is trying very hard to catch up here. Also in a pretty solid lap here. Still has the third sector to go, so currently about 1.3 seconds up, which will actually bring him up into that top 3 region, possibly. So we'll see here if he can hook it up. Looking very tidy so far. Yeah, this is going to be a massive improvement for Simon here. See here, oh, Laren might have hindered him a bit, but bad exit there, but let's see what he does. Comes across the line. Very nicely done there. Could have actually gone a bit faster, I think, if the McLaren wasn't there. A 41 on the dot from Tonen. Puts him into third, so very nicely done there from Tonen. In the silver class. Another look here as Tonen is heading out for another lap. I'll take a look at Jaakko again. See, this time around, he does make a valid lap, and he's gonna be, that's gonna put him up into P12 with a 42.3. With about 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go. There's actually no improvements happening towards the front. So, that is interesting to see. Another one of the newer drivers here. I don't think I've seen this name yet, but Koen Hai Ui, I think, but I'm sure if I pronounce it wrong, he will let me know if I need to pronounce that name differently. Currently looking at a quite a solid improvement. Won't move him up into position. But we'll bring him closer to the pack here. About 5 seconds behind the leader still with a 45.7. So solid. And Jordan Wansink here, trying his best in the Porsche. Of course, we know the Porsche early on in the ACC lifespan was the meta car. You know, it was pretty much fast everywhere and topped all the timing sheets. But since then, Kunos has had some BOP changes, and the Porsche has kind of fallen out of contention. So you actually barely see it used anymore. But one sync here, looking at a good improvement. Let's see where that puts him up. Comes across the line. P11, 1.2 seconds off. So that was a 41.9 for one sync. Solid job there, but he will be looking to get into that top 10 for sure. 2 minutes remaining, 2.5 minutes, sorry. And else here, Thomas. Also looking at a slight improvement. 2/10 up as he's coming down the hill here. Thomas will come across the line here. Let's see. And that will put him up into P11 there. Shane Thomas. Very nicely done with a 41.8. So very nice lap for Shane. And currently, no one managing to beat Villa yet, or Hyla at the front. That 40.6, that was a very fast initial lap there from Hyla, and yeah, unbeaten so far, and it doesn't look like anyone is gonna improve, because of course anyone that starts a lap now is gonna be on their last lap. I think a lot of our front runners are actually already gonna be on their last lap if I'm looking at the timings here. Someone else looking at an improvement here, Marcus Lawrence in the Bentley. His season 1 car, trying to get to grips with it again. Which I think Bentley's pretty alright here, I think. Not the best, but they can do fairly okay on all tracks, I believe. What he does here as he comes across the line, it's going to be a mild improvement, but that does mean, yeah, there we go. So that's all it took, about 1.5 tenths improvement, and that puts him up into P3 there, as the waiting time has now started, which means anyone on their lap now be on their last one. Another driver here looking at a big improvement here. Layston gonna get that last lap, is gonna be a golden one, I think. There we go, puts himself up into P2, only 1/10 behind Hyla, so very nicely done from Layson there at the end of qualifying. Else's improvement, Camille Stemple is just gonna move up into P20 there. Done. 0.7. I'm unhooding now. Oh, cameraman has lost him. There we go, he's returned to the pit. We have some other improvements going on. Doesn't look like it so far. So most of our drivers have returned to the pits. One more driver here trying to improve is Nicolas Alvarado. As he comes across the line, is going to have a 2 or so 10th improvement. Let's see here. Yeah, moves him up into P12 and knocks down one sync into 13th. Fransman, no, he's also in the pit. Most people are in the pit. Still out there. Balint Nergish, actually. But, doesn't look like he's gonna improve as he comes across the line. That is actually gonna end the qualifying session. So yeah, interesting again. Interesting grid lineup here. We have Hila in first. Then we have Joshua Layson in second, just a tenth behind there, and then another three tenths behind the leader here, Thomas Arnsman in third. So yeah, very interesting lining up of the grid. We're gonna take a short 5-minute break here, and then I will come back to you with a full grid rundown, of course. But grab your snacks right now, your snacks and drinks, because it's gonna be 1.5 hours of competition here with 36 cars lining up once again. So yeah, very nice numbers here today, and it's gonna be an interesting race, that's for sure. So stick around, and we'll be back in about 5. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's a bit of a swift return here because we have a big grid to get through. So, without further ado, let's go through the grid here. So, very nicely done from Hila here today, or Hyla, with that pole position. I think his first pole position ever with PCDC, so very nicely done. Then we have Layson right behind him. And Thomas Arnsman will line up in third. Then we have Marcus Lawrence in fourth. Simon Tonen in fifth in the Lamborghini. Neenam Anderson in sixth in the McLaren. Ruben van den Hudding in seventh. Nacy in eighth with his teammate Rabi Hawa right behind. Then we have Justin Daycry in 10th. Shane Thomas in 11th. We have Nicolas Alvarado in 12th. Hughes in 13th, Jordan Wansink in 14th, Ryan Daniels in 15th, Jaco Ikonen in 16th, Milan Hak in 17th, Jesse Smith in 18th, Owen Nijhoff in 19th, Emil Stempel in 20th, Bastian Ertmann in 21st, Andrew Harvey in 22nd, 23rd we have Lucas van der Locht, 24th we have Jasper van Bergen, Balint Niergesh will line up in 25th, 26 will be Max van der Snel, Lucian Zamfarescu in 27th, 28th will be Henry O'Regan, then we will have Daryl Hill in 29th, Mike van der Zijderveld in 30th, Alfie Morum in 31st, 32nd will be Brian Pettit, Koenhai Oi will be in 33rd, 34th will be Miguel Fonseca, Chris Thornton in 35th, and 36th will be Leon Griffiths, who seems to be starting from the pits. That all being said, everyone is running down the hill here and bunching up now. All of our drivers will be going into a double formation here. Bunching up nice and close together as they have tried to get their tires and brakes up to temperature during the formation lap. And as they're going through the last sector here, now coming up to the last corner. As they're gonna come around that, we're gonna wait for the green lights. And you can see here the race is gonna head into the evening, so 7 p.m. now. We are gonna head into the night here. But that is gonna be a very interesting transition to see. But you see the lights there in the distance. The cars are coming down the start-finish straight. See when it turns green. And we have green light for the 4th round of the PCDC ACC GT3 League. And our drivers are going towards turn 1. It does seem that Masic has gotten a good run. Can cover off the inside from Josh Layson as there's a bit of contact there. See if everyone gets through cleanly. Does seem to be the case so far. We have some 3 wide running in the back there. Ooh, bit of contact here. Lucas van der Locht is around at the moment as he's trying to get his car turned around. Not quite sure what has gone on there. But go back towards the front if we can. Let's see as the as Lucas van der Locht is trying to get going again. The leaderboards are trying to sort themselves out, but we have highlight here with Arnsman now in 2nd. So Arnsman has overtaken Josh Layson here. Marcus Lawrence in 4th and Mats Linum Andersen in 5th. We have Hughes here running side by side with Shane Thomas down the hill, but they will slot in, and we have some more side by side running there with Mats Linum Andersen and Van den Hudding. As they go side by side into that braking zone, but Van den Hudding will think better of it. And oh, actually a nice cutback there from Van den Hudding. Very nicely done. That means he will be up into 5th there. As we see someone running wide there in the Bentley. That must be Hughes. Surely enough it is. And I mean, he's lost quite a bit of positions there. And here, Balint Niergesh also. running side by side there as we're heading down into turn 1 once again. There's a McLaren back there with quite a bit of damage. Baller doing a pretty decent job so far. Meanwhile, at the front, Hyla still doing a good job here, holding on. There's been a bit of a breakaway here from the top 4, as they have separated themselves from the large pack behind them. And now Mats Linum Andersen is under attack here from the Nacy and Hughes behind as they go side by side through that long winding corner there, down the hill again. And everyone's slotting in nicely, but there is someone with a lot of damage here, as there's some meatball flags being shown on the side there, so someone has to pit for damage, I think. Free wide action there. In the back, Kalaneo, Jaakko Ikonen and Wansink there, fighting for position, as Wansink nearly ends his life there by going on that curb. Then behind there we also have, let's see, who's that? Milan Hak with Jesse Smith and Nicolas Alvarado heading down the start-finish straight. Might make it 3 wide here. Let's see what happens here. Gonna be difficult. Milan Hak does get through, and then Jesse Smith and Nicolas Alvarado running side by side. They give each other enough space to battle there. Alvarado will pull in front as of now. Meanwhile, we have Andrew Harvey here, also in the Honda, so there is actually more than one Honda. There is actually 2 of them. A fairly nice job so far at the 18th. But the first 5 minutes have passed, and it does seem now that Hyla is slowly maybe edging out a bit of an advantage here, while Thomas Arnsman and Layson fairly tightly packed, and I think Layson is looking for that opportunity here. Go on board here, see what's going on, but Layson is in the slipstream, and he is going to try and make that move here on Arnsman, I think. As he pulls out of the slipstream, let's see what happens. Arnsman is going to give him the space, but does have maybe a little bit of better traction on the outside, and yes, Joshua Layson will slot in there behind Arnsman, which was the sensible thing to do. But again, has a very good run there compared to Arnsman. And Layson looking really strong here today, coming off that victory in GT4 last time around. And one of our drivers here, stop and go from Simon Dornan, which is gonna be... Oh, actually, I'm not quite sure what you would get a stop and go for. Is that for the damage, maybe? Yeah, not quite sure what he would get that for, because usually that's for pit violations. That's when you get the stop and go. If it's track violations, then surely it's just a drive-through, not mistaken. But yeah, that's gonna set back Simotonen quite a bit, but obviously he does have an hour and 20 minutes or so to make up that lost time, which will be quite a bit here in the pit of Kyalami. Kyalami has a pretty long pit here, but doesn't elect to go into the pit just yet. It's gonna stick out for another lap. Obviously, once you get the penalty, you have 3 or so laps to get that penalty served. If not, you will have to actually you actually get disqualified. Sorry, I was looking for the right words there and they just wouldn't come to me. Going back to this little battle that is going on here between Arnsman and Joshua Layson. Layson still seems to want to get past Arnsman here, but unsuccessful so far. You can also see now Marcus Lawrence has closed up to the back of Layson, so he's gonna have to be wary as well from an attack here from Lawrence. Yeah, the stop and go would be, I'm not sure. It might have been a very big cut, like you said, if someone... But then again, I'm wondering where you could do that on this track. Where you could actually make such a big cut that would cause you to actually gain time. But nevertheless, Tonen will have to serve that penalty, unfortunately. Arnsman still holding on for now. Layson is gonna show his nose there, but yeah, nothing so far. But something else is happening a bit further down. Seemed like Milan Huck dropped back quite a bit, so Tonen now coming in. Here is gonna serve that stop and go, so again, very unfortunate for him, but has a lot of time to make that up. The most interesting fight definitely going on here between Arnsman, Layson, and Lawrence, as they're the closest on track to each other. Believe it or not, most of the other cars are about a second away from each other. So a lot of close running still going on, but this is definitely the biggest battle going on right now. And actually, looks like here Matsuchila is now, or Masi, sorry, probably Masi. Now has made a little bit of a mistake, and Joshua Layson trying up the inside there, as we saw in the background with Arnsman. Isn't going to pull off that move, and has a very good run here, and surely he's going to pull out now and try something. Going to try to cut back here. Let's see if it works out. Very nicely done there from Layson. Very nice cutback. And is going to move himself up in the second position, and now with Hyla that have made that mistake in front, there might be the possibility for Layson to just close up that gap. We will get a little bit of slipstream here down the straight now, I believe, as he's within that second range. But of course, dirty air also being a factor, so gonna be tricky. Seems now Thomas Arnsman here might be dropping off the pace a little bit here after the opening stages of the race. Further down here we have Nicholas Alvarado running side by side with Hack, I believe, or is oh no, that's not Hack, that will be Jesse Smith then. So Jesse and Nicholas fighting very hard here. A bunch of cars behind them as well, of course. Ryan Daniels, Jordan Wansink, and Andrew Harvey all fighting and scrapping over these positions. But believe it or not, Nicholas Alvarado, one of the drivers, if I'm not mistaken, that actually drives with mouse and keyboard, believe it or not. He told us, I think it was last time around, he actually said he only does dry races and he has his mouse set up in such a way that, you know, he is actually able to do well. He has some settings for it, and yeah, he's using mouse and keyboard, so hey, you don't need a fancy rig to do well here, as he's running in 12th position. My question is always, if you're this high up with a mouse and keyboard, what can you do with a full rig, you know, with steering wheel pedals? I wonder how much faster he would be with those. Another quite close fight here on track will be Denasi and Hughes. So Denasi, the current championship leader, running in 7th at the moment. With Hughes looking hungry behind him. Last lap for Denasi was a 42.4 and Hughes was a 42.3, so closely matched in pace. But maybe if Hughes can get ahead and get some clean air, he might actually be a little bit faster than Denasi. But again, the very nice livery from the AOSP guys. And the cameraman, once again, not paying attention. As we're switching over here, Thomas Arnsman now dropped into 4th position. So yeah, struggling quite a bit here after the opening stages. Arnsman not quite getting into the rhythm, it seems. Marcus Lawrence has pulled in front of him now, and might actually see the likes of Ruben van den Hudding and Mats Leenum here catching up to the guys in front, if they don't battle too much. Mats here in his fake Porsche livery here. Trying to catch up to Van den Hudding in front of him. But yeah, these guys apparently looking very good. Actually, Mats posting a 41.6 last time around, or 41.7. I think he's dabbling into 41s quite a lot here, and well, to give you an idea, he's matching, if not faster than first place at the moment. Yeah, it does look like it, Whip. We have a lot of competition here today. And, well, you can see it up and down the grid. A lot of battles going on. We have Denasi and Hughes still going at it, but you can see the gaps. They're still very close here. We're about 15 minutes in. This is usually where we start and see the grid split up a little bit more, and everyone's starting to run their own race, but not today. A lot of competition out there. But Denasi trying to hold on here from Hughes behind. And again, I think Hughes just gets the opportunity here to make that move. And he gets past, he might be able to form a gap here, but of course, first has to get in front of Denasi. Look back towards the front, Masi, Hila, or Hyla. Man, names are hard. Still running in first, but you can see place in there. About a second behind. Actually closed up to about half a second. And is gonna try and make it hard here for Hyla. And again, I don't know how the Honda holds up on tires, because it is a bit notorious now. We saw it in the last GT3 season that a lot of the guys like Lawrence and Erbrich and One Sink as well, they were running the Honda, and in longer races and especially wet races, the Honda would be one of the cars to run out of the tires pretty quickly. Yeah. Josh here now, looking very fast behind Hyla. Another big fight going on here. Hughes and Denasi once again. Hughes now, I think, closer than he has been before. If he can now stick behind here through this last corner, get a nice run out of there. Which I think he does. Seems like the Nacy just got the edge there out of the corner. We'll get a little bit of slipstream here, but it won't be enough to try anything. And then hitting here still has Liam Anderson right behind him, and Liam Anderson really doing a good job here, but I'm sure he will want to get past Ruben here, because it does seem that Mats is a little bit faster here today. But of course, pace isn't everything. You still have to, you know, get past your opposition. Oh, Joshua Layson here as we come back, now running side by side with Hyla as they come down the hill. Challenging for first position here. Let's see what he does. Is he going to try another cutback here? I think he is, but Hyla doing a very good job parking it on the apex there. Some good defensive driving from Hyla. So now under attack a little bit from Lawrence. I don't think Lawrence is necessarily faster, but this battling between the two in front of him has caused Lawrence to be able to catch up here, and actually makes it so that Layson has to be a bit careful here with Lawrence. But I don't think the Bentley will outbrake that Audi in front of him. Hyla now trying to hold on to this first position here, but kind of feels like if any of the cars behind gets the opportunity and can get in front, they are gonna run away from Hyla here, as he is struggling for pace at the moment. Of course, the one strength that the Honda has is down the straights. Hyla there with a very very wide line there, and is gonna get the traction out of the corner, but yeah, a little bit of a mistake there. On to the last turn now. Hyla is gonna hold on for another lap here. Meanwhile, Liam Anderson still not able to get past Van den Hudding. The Nacy and Hughes still going at it as well. A bit further down, everyone is starting to spread out a little bit more, it seems like. So, well, that being said, I kind of feel like as there is a Ferrari there with a left blinker on, which might cause a bit of confusion. Hopefully it doesn't amount in anything serious here, but our leaders are going to get some lap traffic now. Ooh. See here what that Ferrari in front does. Hope he gets out of the way here. Hyla is trying to get past. He will do so. Good job by the Ferrari there, as he just has his blinker on permanently there, as the whole field is kind of catching up, I think. But yeah, Hyla still holding on for now. Layson and Marcus Lawrence right behind them. Someone else here having a bit of a recovery drive. Lucas van der Locht, or Van der Locht, I should say. This has that heavily damaged car. It's currently running 45.6s. Hasn't elected to pit yet because I do think he wants to get that pit stop out of the way, of course. And this happened at the start of the race, which meant if he pitted then, he couldn't get enough fuel to make it till the end. So I'm guessing he's just trying to get within his fuel window, and then we will see him pit and repair that damage to not lose any unnecessary time. But yeah, he's probably not having. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to cough there. But yeah, let's hope he can get that damage fixed during the pit stop. And make a good recovery drive here today. Back towards an AC. Hughes still hasn't found a way to get past here. But again, really close now, and surely Hughes is just waiting for that run out of that corner to make a move here, but again, he's not going to be close enough, I think. No, doesn't look like it. That means, for now, Denesi will just hold on to this position. Miguel Fonseca here has, I believe that's Baliniergish, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, this must be, he must be getting lapped here. Yeah, so, a lot of traffic coming down now, a lot of people getting lapped, and gonna get a bit confusing at times, but doing good so far. Miguel here in 23rd. Henry O'Regan now fighting with Tonen here, I think. With Tonen, oh, let's see here. Regan fighting for this position, I do believe so. No, he's actually gonna let just let Tonen by. So I think Tonen also one of the cars on a recovery drive, if I'm not mistaken. I think O'Regan recognized that he was quite a bit faster, so just let him through there. Alaneov. Ooh, bit of a bump there. I think that was Hawa that made the move there on Kalanehov. His Hawa is up into 16th. So he's slowly working his way forward. Once again, coming into turn 1 here, Denesi with Hughes right behind him. Surely Hughes is just looking for the single opportunity here, waiting for Denesi to just make a small error to capitalize. As he runs a bit into the grass there, Denesi, and that is the opportunity we're talking about. That's the one that Hughes needed as they run side by side here. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Someone has to slot in here because I don't think you can run side by side here, and Hughes will do so. But Denesi starting to feel the pressure here as Hughes gets a better run once again, and surely he will try something into the hairpin here. He's going to try the inside. Let's see. Can he outbrake Denesi? Yes, he is going to do so. Still side by side down the hill now. Denesi, let's see if he can get a run here. still right behind him, but Hughes got a fairly good exit there, even though he was running on a compromised line. Benesi showing the nose there, and Hughes working his way around the corners here. Don't touch the death curve there. Very well done. Into the last corner, and it does seem that Hughes now that he's in that clean air, it does seem that Hughes is going to pull away here. So Hughes finally made that move there, and can now work on extending that gap and maybe even work his way back up towards the front. As you can see now, that gap is instantly starting to form here, so yeah, Hughes quite a bit faster at this stage in the race. Quite difficult to tell here if there's something going on in the mid-pack with the cars being overtaken by the leaders, but once again, we're coming up to a bit of a fight here. Layson has again worked his way up to about a 2/10 gap from Hyla. He's kind of in that same position, Josh, as a well, Hyla and Josh are in the same position as Hughes and an AC, I think, because I think if Josh gets the opportunity and is able to overtake Hyla here, I think he will actually be able to pull away, but it's just so hard in that dirty air to get enough closing speed and just get up right onto that bumper. And that's what Josh is going to need. He's going to need a really good run out of a single corner, or maybe Hyla making a mistake somewhere to actually get past, because it's going to be difficult. And of course, Marcus Lawrence is still there, right behind these guys. If something should go wrong, he's right out of the mix as well. And same here, once again. Similar situation here with Van den Hudding and Anderson. I think Van den Hudding is doing a good job here, but Liam Anderson, I think, is slightly faster if he can get that clean air. But so far, Van den Hudding doing a very good job holding on here, and is still running in that 5th position. And again, they're not far off the leader. They're only about 3.5 seconds off of the leader as well. So you might think here, if Liam Anderson gets the opportunity, he's gonna streak away and try to get towards the front as well. Maybe he can even kind of pull Van den Hudding with him. If that is the case. It does look like Mats here is looking for a slightly different line, maybe trying to get a bit of a better run than Van den Hudding out of that corner. At this point, he's probably experimenting here and there, trying to see what works best and what he can do to overtake Van den Hudding here. Oh, something must have happened. I'm gonna quickly and try and get that the replay up. Sorry for a bit of the delay. We are running custom skins, so there is a bit of the delay on the replay. Unfortunately, I haven't caught that. But, yeah, Hyla must have made a mistake here, as his last lap was a 45.3. A big mistake somewhere from Hyla, and that does mean that Josh Layson is in the lead now, so... I mean, dare I say it? I'm not gonna say anything so far, but Layson is looking good. Is running in the lead here, and now Marcus Lawrence coming up behind them. As they are gonna come up to a bunch of lap traffic now as well. Let's see how they navigate that, as Layson is making that clear to the car in front. They are fighting for the lead here, so let's hope they get some cooperation from the guys in front. Oh, Hyla there going off. Hyla once again Little bit of a mistake there, and it's gonna lose out quite a bit here, and he'll that will probably disconnect him from the two leaders now. Well, the leader and the second place there of Marcus Lawrence. Now Lucas van der Locht here, running with damage, is gonna get out of the way for the leaders here. It is turning into a bit of a mashup now. Kind of hard to keep track of where everyone is on the track, as there's quite a bit of lap traffic now coming into play. But again, this does mean that it's pretty good here for Josh Layson, as he seems to have gotten the better part of the traffic right now. Created a little bit of a gap. And he will be looking to extend that gap, of course, get a bit more comfortable. We've already done more than 35 minutes of racing here, but we still have 56 to go. A lot of time still for people to pick up positions, recover some positions. Now Denasi here, as I was saying before, Hughes has gotten past, and you can see him there in the background. Is now creating a little bit of a gap here. Denasi now slowly falling into the grasp of Mr. Dijkstra. Dijkstra has managed to make his way up to within about half a second. Yeah, that could be the case with me. It could be a case of Denasi running on low fuel compared to some cars, or max fuel, sorry, compared to some cars. Some cars might have elected to maybe just fill up half the tank. As not quite sure what the tire strategy is. I don't know if the tires can hold on for an hour and a half, and if we'll actually want to change those. But we have seen Denasi actually pull off quite a stunt last time at Suzuka when it was an endurance, where he didn't elect to go for tires. So we might see that again here today. So might be on the tire and fuel saving strategy, because I think last time around he literally only went in for a little splash of fuel, and the many people surprised as he didn't take tires. So he actually came out in front. So yeah, it will be interesting to see if Denasi is on that same strategy here today. But yeah, looking good so far. Oh, sorry, that is not supposed to pop up. Trying to notice that the Steam, again, that is not supposed to show up. I'm just trying to get it out of the way. The Steam interface isn't supposed to show up. But I noticed some of my friends' notifications were popping up, so trying to get that signed out there so that that doesn't happen again. Elon Huck now has Jordan One-Sink right behind him, fighting for that 11th spot. Yeah, Whitby, unfortunately I don't have a separate streamer and camera person here with me, so it happens, unfortunately. I'm normally able to remind myself to sign out from Steam or the Friends app at least before the race starts, but not this time. See now Hughes also coming into the pit. Is gonna make that is gonna make a stop already just before the halfway mark, about 7 minutes before that 45-minute mark. So this is the stage now where we start finding out a little bit what the strategies are for everyone. So of course, as explained before, the drivers have to do one stop, one mandatory stop, but fuel and tires are optional. So might see people just taking tires, just taking some fuel. It'll also be a case of some drivers saving their tires and saving their fuel and trying to make it the full 90 minutes. Although that is very, very hard to do. But I think that you always need to come in. I think if it's 90 minutes, you definitely have to come in, even if you fuel save. I think you still have to come in for at least a couple of laps of fuel. But yeah, like we've seen in the past, the AC has pulled off that strat where he just came in for a couple of liters of fuel, just to make up like 2 or 3 laps, I believe. Maybe a little bit more, and he actually, I think he jumped 4 or 5 cars doing that, so yeah. Be interesting to see what the strategies are like today. Lucian Zamfirescu now here in a battle with Thornton, but I think Zamfirescu isn't too worried about it. He's already made his pit stop, so he's gotten that out of the way. Effectively, that is not a fight for position, as Thornton still has to come into the pit. Wansink now as well coming into the pit, so he's gonna make his stop again just before that halfway mark. Now we do see here that Justin Dijkstra has got, I believe, a back marker in front of him. So has had a bit of a gap create between him and the Nacy in front. Now Layson still here at the front. Gonna be interesting to see when he comes in and if Marcus Lawrence decides to follow him, as there is a Wansink coming out of the pit there, and he will have to give way to Lawrence. But yeah, Josh doing a good job so far. About halfway into the race, and I think at this point desperately flashing his lights for all the traffic he's coming up to, just to let them know that the leaders are coming through. Of course, he doesn't want to be hindered at any point, as the racing is so close. Hope this Aston Martin here gonna give way. He is so. We'll have to give way to that Bentley behind as well. And he is gonna come into the pit there. Not quite sure who that was. Must have been O'Regan. Yeah, that must have been O'Regan coming into the pit there. And we see more of our drivers pit now. That's gonna jumble up the order a little bit. So Hyla now is not too far actually from the leader, so hasn't dropped off massively, but is slowly but surely losing a little bit of time to the cars in front. And has the Porsche of Jordan Wansink behind him. Cameraman is catching up again. We have a lot of cameramen to fire again today as they're sleeping on the job. Shane Thomas here does have is that Milan Huck behind him in the McLaren? No, that will be another driver. So again, mixed traffic here. Very hard to kind of keep up what is going on, especially with the pits coming in. So towards the front here, Ruben van den Hudding also coming into pit. So one of the first front runners to get into the pit. Harby, Ikonen, Dijkstra all pitting now. So that McLaren from earlier was Mike Zijderveld. Currently has already done his pit stop here in 30th, so I assume might be able to pick up a position here or there if people in front of him pit. Perhaps Griffiths and Fonseca in front that he might be able to overtake. But he's wide way away, I think, from that pit. As he's still coming up the hill now, so might not be able to pull in front of the guys sitting in front of him. Josh Layson now has come into the pit. We do see Marcus Lawrence here is now in clean air, and we will have to see here what he does for the next lap. Is he gonna come in as well, try to prevent or try the overcut right away? Because I think effectively he would probably have to run 2 or 3 laps to get enough of an edge on Layson. And the only thing we can hope for Layson is that he has nailed that pit stop, and he's not going to lose any time because of it. Layson now exiting the pits. There we go. Just left the pits there with Hyla also coming out. But again, let's turn the attention here to Lawrence, who's heading down the hill into the last sector. Let's see if he makes his pit stop this time around, or if he's actually trying an alternate strategy. Maybe he's trying the overcut, but we'll see. So, still gonna keep going on. So, yeah, Lawrence doing a good job here. I do know the Bentley is very efficient on fuel, so it actually makes it quite a good endurance vehicle. So it can run quite low fuel loads compared to other cars. I know at the start of some of the races, if you have a 60-minute race, the Bentley can sometimes run on 90 liters of fuel compared to some cars running 110 liters of fuel. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because I think Lawrence could be trying to just stretch out his stint here and maybe pit very late just for a splash. And he does have clean air in front of him, so could make up a lot of time here. So this is where all the traffic comes into play now. You see now Hyla, he is actually behind Hughes, so I don't quite know how that happened. Because Hughes has pitted, so he has effectively jumped Hyla. Okay, but now Lawrence is going into the pit. As he stops in his pit box, let's switch back to Josh Layson. See how they will compare in pit stops. Josh now heading down the mountain into the last sector. Let's see how Marcus Lawrence is doing. He is still in the pit, so he must be swapping out tires for sure. Layson now avoiding the death curb into the last corner. Lawrence is moving again, but I don't think it's a very long pit straight here. And I think Layson will easily overtake him here, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, actually... Ooh, that was actually way closer than I thought it would be. But Marcus Lawrence ends up just behind Layson here. So yeah, a bit of a misjudgment for me here. I didn't think Lawrence could get up the speed there quite enough to be so close to Layson. But now, of course, Layson has that single lap or so where Lawrence's tires won't be quite up to scratch. They won't be up to pressure, up to heat just yet. Oh, Layson there. I think very wide. A little bit of a mistake. Allows Lawrence to come a bit closer. But yeah, at any lap he wants to make the difference, it's going to have to be this one, because this is where the tires aren't optimal yet for Lawrence. Lawrence right on the back of Layson now. We can also see Arnsman there. He's currently in first position coming into the pit. As nearly an entire grid has pitted now, but you can see once again, the AOSP guys, the Nasi and Hawa, I think are going for their alternate strategy again. It worked for them at Suzuka, and I think they are looking towards that very long run again. And the Aston is, well, I don't necessarily know if the Aston is good on the tires, but, oh, Layson runs wide there. Big mistake, big mistake. And that is going to allow Lawrence to pull in front into P1. Layson P2. And the leaders will now have to deal with, again, a bit of traffic in front. But yeah, coming back to the Macy here. Currently running at the front and, again, not losing too much pace. And, yeah, at Suzuka, they went really long into their stint, and I think with about 10 minutes left, they both pitted for a little bit of fuel. They didn't take any tires, but they seem to be the tire whisperers in that race. They perfectly managed their tires throughout the stint. Took that little bit of fuel at the end and managed to come out with a victory. So I imagine we are gonna see a very similar strategy here today. And of course, it will be very interesting to see if we can pull it off. I think it'll be quite hard because the gap is only around 30 or so seconds to the, not even that, about 25 even. To the Marcus Lawrence and Josh Layson behind. So it's going to be tricky to pull off this time, but even then it might see them jump a couple of positions, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Denasi was around 6th or 7th, maybe even 8th. And how about a bit further back, so, you know, if they can jump a couple of cars with this strategy, it might work out for them. Can see here now, Hawa is under fire here from Arnsman and Hyla. Of course, Hawa is in every right to fight for his position here, and I'm sure he is trying to help out his teammate here a little bit. So I'm sure Hawa will fight for this position with his life to make sure his companion Denasi can get the best run. And of course, Arnsman and Hyla will be looking to get past here, but nothing so far for them. Ooh, as they're coming up to a lot of traffic in front now. This is gonna make it very interesting. Ooh, Arnsman just squeezing up the inside there. We'll get the traction, a little bit of a tap there. Too much of an issue, but that does allow Hyla to now. Is he gonna try and pull alongside? I do think so. Probably gonna try and move here. Hyla with a late move, but can't quite outbrake him as a Ferrari goes off there. Not quite sure who that was. A quick look here at some of the Ferraris. Not Neyhoff. Temple, perhaps? Nope. Take a look a bit further back. Maybe Morum. Yeah, Alfie Morum. Let's see if we can get a replay of that one. That was quite a curious incident there. If we can go far enough back to actually see what happened. No, unfortunately we don't have the full replay available there. That was quite curious. I wonder if he had any help from someone heading into the gravel pit there, because if he didn't, he must have completely missed his braking there. But does carry on. Doesn't seem like the damage is too heavy, so might have... Oh, actually, his front left is... Oh, he has a puncture. He has a puncture. Yeah, you can see that front left is... Whoa, that actually might be a failed suspension. Looking at the tire, the way it's locked up on the front left there, that looks like that might actually be a suspension failure, so completely wrong judgment from me there. Actually probably picked up a lot of damage there from that crash. Yeah, that front left wheel isn't turning anymore, so it's trying to get that car around, but he will have to pit for sure. Yeah, look at that. He can't turn right anymore. And he's trying to just nurture the car back to the pits, maybe. As some more traffic comes through. Yeah, that is really unfortunate to see. Quite curious as well, because I don't think I've ever seen that where the front left wheel just has collapsed. That the suspension on that part has collapsed so much. I haven't seen that. So maybe that is the. It could also maybe perhaps be a puncture though, because maybe that is the game's way of showing a puncture. That could also be the case. I'm not sure. But he is gonna try and make his way back to the pit here. Let's see. He's gonna manage. Don't go too fast. You have trouble turning. Does manage to get in there. Okay, well done. Back towards the front now. Robbie Hala still holding off some of the cars behind. Robin van den Hudding and Hyla. And now the pace difference is starting to show here. So we have the Nacy here still running in the net, not the net lead, but still running in the lead at the moment. And for comparison, the Nacy here is doing 43s, whereas the last lap was a 43 at least, so high 42s, 43s, and the cars behind him are running 42s and even 41s. So yeah, he's losing about a second on the lap here, which will mean even if he pits very late and only takes a little bit of fuel, they're still gonna come out ahead by quite a bit, I think. But again, last time at Suzuka they surprised us as well, so let's see how this one turns out. As we have a bit of a battle. Cameraman is behind again, but battle between Van den Hudding and Masic. Hyla, or Masi. Side by side, a little bit of contact. Van den Hudding around the outside. Surely will get the better run here, and is now on the inside for the next corner. Ooh! Yeah, big contact there. Van den Hudding still moving here. See what happened there exactly. Again, sorry for a little bit of delay here, but we are using custom skins, and that means there is a little bit of delay on the replay. Let's see here. It goes side by side with that initial sequence. Let's see what happens here. So Van den Hudding outbraking a little bit, going around the outside, keeping it around the outside, and then they head into the braking zone. And ooh, looks like Hyla might have turned in a little bit too early there. Not quite sure, but manages to keep it on the track. So good save from Hyla there. And luckily no one has picked up damage from that one. One's still running. $30 minutes to go now. Last 30 minutes of this 90-minute race. Unfortunately now, it does seem like Layson is dropping off a bit compared to Lawrence. Layson's last lap was a 42, while Lawrence's was a 41.7. Hopefully he can find a little bit more here. Try to get back up to onto that rear bumper of Lawrence. Challenge for that win. I'm sure we'll check in later with him. But Hughes here again. At the 7th place, so really good run here from Hughes today in the Bentley. Doing a really good job. And well, I haven't even mentioned that, but the livery he is running fits very well today here. It has that South African flag on it. So very fitting for today's race. I wonder if Stay is from South Africa. If so, it will be a home race for him. I assume that's why he might has that livery. And Hyla actually picking up a drive-through, which will well, bit of a insult to injury, unfortunately. So started on pole here today, but is now gonna drop outside of the top 10 here today. Does have some time to make up, but it's gonna be very tricky for Hyla here today. And yeah, just very unfortunate for him here today. I would have loved to see him on that podium, but just doesn't have quite enough here today. Robbie Hawa now still doing a fairly decent job here, keeping Van den Hudding and Hughes behind. Hughes is slowly catching up though. But yeah, Hawa doing a fair job here of keeping them behind, as I think Curly is trying to extend the gap for his teammate, the Nacy, in front. Being said, we'll take a couple of laps on board here as I need to take a small toilet break, but I'll let you enjoy the sound of the Bentley as it goes around the track. So, I hope you had a nice couple of laps there with Marcus Lawrence. Excuse me once again. But yeah, the Nacy's still there, running in P1. Just trying to extend the stint as long as possible, so it is definitely that that alternate strategy we're talking about here that the AOSP guys are running once again. So only two cars not pitted yet is the Nacy and Hawa here. So ooh, there's a Aston Martin there that hit the curb a little bit too hard. Simontonen here. Running some fast laps actually, but that being said, everyone here in that man, I want to say top 16, 17. Everyone running in the 42s, and I'm not talking high 42s. Simontonen here, for instance, is running 41s and low 42s, and most of the cars in front of him are doing the same pace, so very competitive here today. Let's see here, Robbie Hawa still trying to hold on here from cars of Van den Hudding. And Hughes, I think, as well is back there, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. Just under 20 minutes to go here for round 4 at Kyalami. And Hawa here trying his best to defend, and look at that difference in speed there coming out of the corner. Van den Hudding nearly plowing into the back there, as Hughes is now getting into the mix with these guys as well. Hughes right onto the back of Van den Hudding there. But yeah, Van den Hudding surely looking for a way past past Hawa here, because he is really slowing down now. Let's see here if Van den Hudding gets a good run. Seems like Hawa once again just getting a slightly better run out of the corner there, because I think he is taking it quite easy on the apexes, so to say. But Hughes now actually attacking. Van den Hudding will be looking for that cutback probably, but not quite enough. And now look who's in the mix now as well. Mats Linem Andersen here has managed to catch up to these guys, and they are going very slow in front of him, so he will want to make short work of these guys, because Mats' last laps were all 41s, if I'm not mistaken. And to give you an idea, Robbie Hawa's last lap was a 44. That's about 2.5 seconds difference. And just look at this little train forming here behind Hawa. Of course, Hawa has every right to defend here. Now we do see the Nacy coming in. So the Nacy into the pit. I assume that Hawa will come into the pit then as well one of these laps. They're going to be running the same strategy, I assume. The Nacy already overtaken by Lawrence and Layson. See where he is gonna come out. So he is gonna come out in front of Ruben van den Hudding and Hughes and such. So the Nacy has again made his strategy work for him. I think he was, before he pitted, he was in P7 or thereabouts, and has now gotten into P4 with quite a significant gap to the cars for position behind them. So yeah, once again has made a nice jump here with his pit stop and is up into 4th place now. And actually only running about 3 or so seconds behind Aronsman, but again, I don't know if on the tires he's on, he can actually challenge Aronsman in front of him. Another stop and go here for Jasper van Bergen. In that nice neon yellow Mercedes here. Has gotten the stop and go 30 seconds, so well, it either means he's made a massive cut somewhere or he has had a pit violation. Either entering the pits too fast or exiting too fast. Accidentally switched out of the limiter, something like that. But yeah, unfortunately, that will mean that he will have to go into the pit within the next 3 laps and serve that penalty. And Thomas here working through some lap traffic. So, still 2 cars running fairly close together here. Van den Hudding and Anderson are right behind them there. And they're trying to hunt down the Nacy in front. And I think they are successfully doing that. Let's see what kind of lap time the Nacy is going to post here as he comes across the line. Last lap for the Nacy was a 43.2, while for Ruben van den Hudding, you see him the bottom right there is a 42.3. So needless to say, they are catching the Nacy and they are catching him fast. Of course, once they catch up to him, which should be in 2 or so laps, the question is, can they get past him? Catching up is one thing, but once you get into that little bubble of dirty air and that person in front throws up some good defensive moves, it can get significantly harder to get past. I think we will just follow these boys around for now. See how they work their way up to the Nacy in front. But once again, as they come across the line here, let's compare. I think the timing should also update in the top left. So the Nacy posting a 43.2, sorry, and Van den Hudding a 42.6. So again, 0.8 gain there for Van den Hudding. Yeah, about 2 more laps and he will be right onto the back of the Nacy. But he'll be left with less than 10 minutes to make that move on him. Meanwhile, Robbie Hawa now, after that pit stop, has dropped back to 12th position. Last lap a 43.7 with Jordan Wansing behind him a 43.9, but I think Jordan Wansing is considerably faster here. Right onto the back here. Jordan will now try to show his nose there, but Hawa so far doing a decent job holding him off. Hawa now still making it around that corner. I thought he went a bit wide there, but doing a good job holding on so far. But yeah, Jordan Wansing is losing a lot of time here. Also coming into the pit here, Andrew Harvey. Not quite sure what that is for. Maybe took a little bit too... didn't take enough fuel maybe during his pit stop. Maybe some kind of issue somewhere. A look at Lucas van der Locht here. Not directly fighting with someone, just getting lapped, I think. Has gotten his car repaired in the pit, so that's something. Ruben van der Hunting as they come across the line. Or not across the line, sorry, as they're in the middle sector. About 1.8 seconds behind the Nacy. But looks like they battled a little bit with each other, maybe into turn 1, so Liam Anderson might have attacked him a little bit. That's why they might be losing a little bit of time here towards the Nacy, which is ideally not what they want. We think we have Zamperescu here, trying to let these guys pass. Does a good job. That's Hughes now coming up behind him as well. Hughes doing a very good job here today. I think unfortunately doesn't have quite the pace to catch up to the likes of Van Hudding and Liam Anderson. But you can see now how close they are to the Nacy. They are within a second, I'm sure. Can see that Layson has actually tightened up that gap a little bit between him and Lawrence, but I'm afraid it won't be enough to warrant another fight for first place here. Seven minutes to go here, and I think at the start of next lap will be the first time that Van den Hudding and Anderson are within reach of the Nacy in front. Mercedes there pulling off, just trying to let traffic through. Smart thing to do. Of course, it's not needed, but it's always good to see someone getting lapped, just making sure they don't cause any problems for the guys running at the front. now the fight is on. The Nacy here, 4th position. Will have to start holding on here. Van den Hudding and Anderson charging behind him. And these guys are about half a second to a second faster per lap. As you can see how much more speed they have behind them, but this is crucial, of course. They come up behind him. The Nacy here has every right to defend, which I very much assume he's gonna do. Has a bit more than 5 minutes to hold on here for that 4th position. Here, Van den Hudding taking a wide line there. Down the hill now in the slipstream. Let's see if he can do anything here. I don't think he's close enough, but let's see. Doesn't look like it. The Nacy does seem to go slightly defensive, but obviously the Nacy is on those worn tires, I believe. So it's gonna be hard for him to hold on. Van den Hudding here in the slipstream, but I don't think it will be enough. That Aston does actually come out of the corners pretty nicely to show his nose, but doesn't have the opportunity yet. Oh, the Nacy goes wide. They run side by side now. The Nacy's still trying to hold on here, but I think he has to concede here. We'll have to do so now. Mats Liam Anderson will be looking to get past. And Ruben Van den Hudding having a... as the Nacy is gonna try and challenge for that position, but he doesn't have the tires left to do that. And Mats now coming up the inside. Oh, bit of contact there. Not the cleanest move, but he gets past. That'll drop the Nacy out of the top 5. It was a good effort, but unfortunately those tires just not holding on until the end here. Of course, the question is now if Hughes gonna catch up as well. Hughes not too far behind, but I think running similar pace to the Nacy here. We'll have to see if Hughes can actually overtake him here. Nahov seems to have had a quiet race with a bit of damage towards on the front of his car there, so I think he's trying to complete his race here. Again here, coming back to the Nacy, Hughes coming up behind him now, and not quite sure here, but I want to kind of pay attention to kind of lap times the Nacy is setting here, because I have a feeling his tires might be on their last life here. As I'm pretty sure, let's see what the gap here is with Hughes. Yeah, Hughes within 7/10 now of the Nacy. The Nacy has 2 more laps to hold on. Focus again towards the front here, because actually battle at the front here kind of heating up. I'm not sure what happened here, but Josh Layson is now about a second away from Marcus Lawrence. So I'm not quite sure what has happened here, but with 1 lap to go, we might have a little bit of a surprise here at the front. Although Josh is... See here, how far is he behind? Exactly 1 second. Won't be enough unless Marcus here makes a mistake. He actually does. Allows Layson to close up here. Got a very bad exit out of turn 1 there. Layson really pushing here. So, I think a little bit of a friendly flash there, for Josh towards, Marcus there. He, realizes he probably can't catch him anymore, but, you know, maybe trying to put him off a little bit. Doesn't look like that is gonna happen. So as we, come past the curb of death into the last corner, it's gonna be Marcus Lawrence in the Bentley coming across the line in first place, and Layson right behind him. So very nicely done. Rare after 90 minutes to see such a close finish. And a podium position here for Thomas Arensman. 3rd place for him. 4th, we have Ruben van den Hudding with Mats Linem Andersson right behind him, 5th. Also coming across the line now. 6th, we have the Nacy holding on those tires in front of Hughes. And we have Hyla in 8th. And Dijkstra in 9th. Shane Thomas now coming around here in 10th. Very good result for him. And we have Milan Hak in 11th. With Hawa there, trying to get past some traffic. So Hawa there, 12th position for him. Jordan Wansink now, 13th. Lucky number 13 for him. Wink, wink. And Tonen there, very nice result for him as well, in 14th in the Lambo. And that will see our race done here today. So with that being said, let's see if we can get, well, first of all, Marcus Lawrence in here. Get a little bit of a commentary from him. See. Far down. I'm trying to grab him into the here. I can move him first there and then into the bottom.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So very nicely done. Win there, and it was actually a lot closer at the end there than I would have thought.
Yeah. Even at the end of the first stint, my tires were like done. Running in the dirty air, and
Right.
that's why I went a little bit longer. Like I went to the maximum of the amount of fuel I had left, just to make it a little bit easier on the second half. But yeah, towards the end, my rears were dead. Really bad issues with traction and braking and turning in. I would always get these little micro slides, and that probably made it even worse.
Right. So
But
you did
yeah,
take tires in the stop, yeah?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because I think again the AOSP guys, the Nacy and Hawa,
yeah.
I think again went
Yeah, I
for
saw
the
them.
long one.
Yeah, going all the way to the end. And I think I came out with a 25-second gap. I got it down to, I don't know, I think it was 15 seconds the last time I checked, and just going through the pits, I knew I would jump them. So
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, very nicely done there. In the Bentley as well, which I don't think is necessarily the strongest car around here.
yeah, it's pretty decent. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty decent. Okay.
yeah,
Uh, oh, so basically you got gifted the win then.
yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But no, it was a really good fight at the start. I don't know what happened with quali. I wasn't expecting to be that far back. But it made for a fun race for me. The first half of the race was really fun battling with Tom and Josh
Yeah.
and Hyla. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked really good. And one more question. I think I was saying this on stream, but I remember from driving the Bentley way back that it is pretty good on fuel, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Compared
is.
to the
Yeah,
other cars. Yeah.
I overfueled way too much. I
Oh,
still had
okay.
like 25 liters left. I need to get my fuel calculations right.
Yeah, because
But
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure the Bentley only uses something like about 90 liters or something an hour, something like that on those
yeah,
tracks.
yes, something like that. Yeah, I'm using 2.5 a lap, so I'm not really sure what other guys are running.
Yeah.
But maybe you can ask the next person you interview.
Yeah. Anyway, congrats on the win, and we'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time.
Yo, thank you very much.
See you here. Okay, so Josh tells me is here, so let's get him in here. Hello, hello.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good, good. I just out of reach there at the end.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Like, beating Marcus out of the pits was great, and then I made a mistake. Hit the yellow anti-cut curb, as we all know. And he managed to slip past, and his pace was just unreal. I couldn't match him. I sort of overpressured the rears as well, which wasn't helping. But once they'd sort of cooled down, I did start to gain or even match him. But and yeah, I kind of got gifted a second chance at it, but unfortunately, just way too much pace.
Yeah, it did seem. I mean, I was just talking to Marcus there and saying how his tires were going off at the end because I think the last couple of laps you were catching rapidly, but just ran out of laps, I guess, to get
Yeah,
there.
you could see the rear of the car was moving around, and I just tried to get as close to him as I could, so try and put him off. But well, we all know we all know Marcus Lawrence. He's a tough nut to crack. So yeah, congrats to him. I am happy with second, but I felt like the race I could have won that race. But there we
Yeah,
go. That's how it goes.
yeah, it would have been, of course, a fairy tale story if you won your GT4 race and then ended this one
Yeah.
back to back. But nevertheless, of course, a very very good
Yeah, well,
result here today.
something is clicking recently. I had a pole last time out in the GT3, and obviously got my first win last week, and I was pretty. I'm just happy to even be, even without his mistake, to be within 5 seconds of him. I'm making strides, so that's the main thing. And as always, just want to, say to all the guys in the chat, the TVGS guys, I'm sure they were in there again, and yeah, it's just really nice to, be competitive again.
Yeah, you're looking really fast on track. So again, congratulations, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, thank you very much. See you next week.
All right. That being said, I think that is enough for now. Maybe Arnsman can come in here. I'll ask him really quickly. Actually, I'll just drag him in here. Hello, hello.
Hello, good evening.
Mr. Arnsman, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty happy with third. Could have been a little bit better maybe, but yeah, pretty happy with third.
Yeah, it was looking really good. You kind of went under the radar a little bit because there was a lot of stuff happening on the track, but just give us a short rundown of how your race went.
Yeah, there was a whole lot going on, especially in the first stint. I selected the wrong tires at the start, so they were used in quali, which wasn't optimal. But yeah, I had a really good start and took second. But then I was struggling on traction a bit and lost out. I got fourth. And then around the pits, I jumped Hyla and got back in third, and that was pretty much the rest of my race.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, very well done. And yeah, again, you kind of slipped under the radar. I guess it was because of that second stint where not much happened for you, except for like just keeping your pace up and running your laps, I guess.
Yeah, I thought Marcus and Layson single stinted their tires, so at the start I was pushing on my new tires, hoping to catch up. But when I noticed I wasn't going to catch them, I just decided to bring it home and bring back and get that third place.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be some nice points picked up for you, and congratulations again, and see you next time.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.
All right, with that being said, we have come to the end of our broadcast. A nice 90-minute race here at Kyalami, and a lot of close finishers actually. Seeing that fight for one and two there is pretty rare after a 90-minute race, so that was good to see. Again, we want to thank our partners here at the end of our stream. So Grid Finder at the bottom left there, you can use their website to find leagues to race in. You can even filter by which platform you're on, what game or what sim you are into. And preferably you would use that, of course, to join our league. But yeah, they have a very good service up and very friendly guys. So be sure to check out Grid Finder. And then another thanks to Simstrata. They help us upkeep our servers and our website. So yeah, they also do a very good job. And if you do want to join our league, be sure to check out pcdc.simstrata.com. You will be asked to log in via Discord. And on the Discord, you can get all the information you need to join our league here. So next time around, we will be racing the GT4s again. So if you're into that, be sure to join. And then a week after that, we will be back to GT3 racing. So yeah, if you do want to join, pcdc.simstrata.com. I have been sent a stuffed mail, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.